NTA, you can't beat the reach.
UAC Unscripted. Hilarious.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. Go shorty.
Unscripted.
Talk something, talk something. Okay.
UAC Unscripted. Nigeria's newest family fun. Showing on NTA Network, 8:30 p.m. every Monday. UAC Unscripted. Comedy uncensored.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Was there any time Nigeria was not Nigeria?
At that time, by the 1950s, principles mattered. But today, it is not principle, opportunism.
I was part of the first set of Nigerian cadets that started the Nigerian Navy.
You cannot say you love God if you don't love your country.
Which one did I prefer at that time? And I said, the one that called me evil genius. You are evil, you are a genius.
Once you've laid the right foundation at primary school, the sky is the limit.
I don't say you should knock off where you come from, because that's really what helps to mold you into what you are.
When I became
Tonight, Southeast governors hold emergency meeting, proscribe activities of indigenous people of Biafra IPOB in the region. And Nigerian military declares IPOB militant terrorist organization. President Muhammadu Buhari hosts Ugandan president, strengthening bilateral talks. Hello and welcome to NTA Network News. I'm Elizabeth Banu, and in Lagos is Ademola Adewi, and Sokoto we have Nana Aisha Mahmood. The governors in the southeast have risen from a critical meeting during which they prescribed all activities of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB. We now join Chair Gonu Aro in Enugu for details of the meeting. It's over to you, Chair Gonu.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and welcome to Enugu. Southeast governors have appealed to the President, Muhammadu Buhari, to withdraw the military in the zone while police perform their statutory role of maintaining law and order. This is contained in an 11-point communique at the end of their meeting this evening at the Government House, Enugu. Ijoma Ogweke has the details.
Has resolved that all activities of the indigenous people of Biafra are prohibited and advised the agitators to articulate their position on all national issues and submit to the forum. Chairman of the forum, Chief David Omahi, who read the communique, said that all governors have been mandated to ensure compliance in their respective states and protect lives and property of non-indigens in the southeast.
5. We reiterate our earlier position that the November 18, 2017 gubernatorial election in Anambra State must hold. We are in touch with the Northern Governors Forum, and they have assured us of the safety of all our people living in the north. and we have also planned for exchange of visits between the governors. This is to reinforce the confidence of Nigerians in this regard. The governors and the security agencies are in agreement that appropriate action will be taken against anyone found culpable. We advise all residents of the Southeast to go about their normal businesses as government of each state is committed to protecting everybody.
The governors assured that full-scale investigation is ongoing on all allegations of killings.
Sorry for the abrupt ending of that story. Meanwhile, Defense Headquarters has declared the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, as a militant terrorist organization. The military authority says the organization in its activities is violent. Ilyasu Aliyaku reports.
Has branded the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, as a militant terrorist organization and urged parents to dissuade their wives from joining the group. A statement by the Director of Defense Information, Major General John Enenche, indicates that after due professional analysis and recent development to notify the general public that the organization is violent, pointing out that its non-violent claim is untrue owing to the group's physical confrontation of troops at various intervals. The statement, however, restated the commitment of the armed forces to confront all security challenges facing the country. It also assured of the protection of lives and property in all parts of the country by the military.
And joining us in the studio to discuss the recent declaration of IPOB as a terrorist organization is Director, Defense Information, Major General John Enenche. You're welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much, Bano.
Now, just give us, an overview of what led to the declaration of IPOB as a military, as a terrorist group.
Yes, as usual. Let me use a common illustration now, like NIMET, Nigerian Meteorological Agency.
Okay.
They give warning of disasters and all. They monitor the weather. I will want to explain it literally that what we have done is like weather analysis, security weather analysis to the general public, which to us is a normal thing. It may just be coincidental that is coming at this time. Of course, the Nigerians will agree with me that IPOB grew from a particular point up to where they are. From making comments, somebody appearing and say, look, we are supposed to be a legitimate organization and all. And a build-up. So all these are the things that we've been considering. And then professionally, like I said in my press release, we did a professional analysis of their intents and their acts. Putting all together, 1, 2, 3, 4, until they mature. It's just the rate of maturity that the restiveness that they are, or the situation that they are, that we just told the public that, look, these people tell you that we are non-violent, we are not aggressive, we are not militants, we are not, no. But we got information, got the intelligence, analyzed it, put it together with facts and figures, some of which I released this afternoon. That was what led to it. It's just telling the public that, look, this is what this organization is. For two reasons, principally for parents and people in the Southeast to be aware of what they are getting into. And then for innocent sympathizers not to begin to plunge their resources into that organization because their motives are not sincere.
Okay, now what would you say is the security implication of this declaration now?
For us, the members of the armed forces, it doesn't really mean anything because it's what we have trained for and what we are prepared for. To handle, follow up with the police and all. But for the ordinary people, generally, they should become more conscious of how they deal with the IPOB as an organization so that they will not get implicated into what they did not mean. Because, of course, actors' will be there and men's may not be there. Men's may be there, actors' will not be there. But now that they have been warned and be educated on what IPOB stands for, that means for any action of participation with IPOB, for them, men's and actors' will be established. and then they can be committed and culpable.
Okay, so what next after the declaration now?
After the declaration, all stakeholders that know about IPOD should do what is necessary and what is meaningful. Which is of course, the public should heed to the warning of not being collaborators, supporters, or people that will be part of IPOD activities. And then for us also to place them appropriately at the level to which they are now. They have graduated from maybe 3rd division to 1st division. Maybe if I will use the illustration of the football ranking. So that is what it is.
Okay. Thank you, Director, Defense Information, Major General John Enenche. Thank you for coming to share your thoughts.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, the Assistant Inspector General of Police Operations, Force Headquarters Abuja, Taiwo Lakanu, has assured people of Abia State of adequate security as 500 mobile policemen have been deployed to forestall insecurity in the state. Kelechi Okata has details.
To newsmen on the recent happenings in the state and the city of Aba, the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Mr. Taiwo Lakanu, condemned the situation as he urged everyone to live in peace and harmony as one nation. He assured the citizens of Abia of adequate security of lives and property, while calling on them to comply with the rules and regulations of the state in order to make the city a better and conducive place for all.
You also deployed over 500 mobile men here, they're on ground. You can see that we have increased security. You can see that the whole place is quiet, and our men are on patrol. They have been deployed. For now, there is peace. We are still monitoring. So for now, there is no problem.
Addressing the Muslim community concerning their experiences in the recent crisis in Aba, the new Commissioner of Police, Mr. Michael Anthony Obizi, enjoined the Muslim Ummah to do away with any form of fear in them and go about their daily business activities, as the police is on ground to protect and ensure their safety.
We are here to ensure that the peace we are enjoying now, we'll continue to enjoy it, and to give them assurance that we are all brothers. What happened is just the handiwork of few hoodlums, and that one has been put to rest.
Responding to the gesture, the Chief Imam Aba Central Mosque, Alhaji Idris Bashir, appreciated the police and other security agents for showing solidarity to Hausa community during the crisis in Aba. The new Commissioner of Police, Mr. Anthony Obizi, assumed office on Thursday, 14 September 2017. In Aba, Kelechi Okata, NTA News.
Still talking security, Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State this afternoon summoned a meeting of community leaders, traditional rulers and heads of religious groups to discuss security situation in Jos. Kim Gotts reports that the meeting follows the pandemonium experienced in some parts of Jos, metropolis and environs.
In attendance are the Ezebo of Jos, representing the Igbo community, the Jamaat Nasrul Islam Administrative Secretary, Christian Association of Nigeria, and other community leaders. Governor Simon Lalong, while addressing them, expressed regret over the unfortunate incident. While calling on people not to take laws into their hands, Governor Lalong cautioned leaders to sincerely control their followers, as Plateau State remained the home to all Nigerians.
Nobody has any right to chase anyone out for now. We will put all the maximum security to ensure protection, good protection of lives and properties in Plateau State. And the security are on top of it, and also putting all the measures to get whoever is responsible.
Minister of Interior Abdurrahman Dambazo at the meeting commended the governor for the quick response to forestall any breakdown of law and order in the state. He said his visit to the state is to further strategize and seek ways of preventing such ugly incident.
Give assurance that the government will protect the rights and privileges of every Nigerian citizen wherever he is.
Community and religious leaders speak at the end of the meeting.
As a religious leader, we are going back to summon our people and tell them that there's nothing like peace.
Whatever is happening in the southeast should not be allowed to interface with the problem with what we are doing here on the plateau. Here we have all agreed that we will live together as peaceful Nigerians.
They pledged to maintain the hard-earned peace in the state. In Jos, Kim Gotts, NTA News.
Similarly, Adamawa State government has assured Igbo people living in the state of the safety of their lives and property. The assurance was given at a meeting with all Igbo leaders across the state held at the Government House, Yola. Rayanu Bala reports.
Meeting at the instance of Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrilla and security agencies in the state is to assure the Igbos that Adamawa State is peaceful and there is no cause for alarm. The governor asked the Igbos to go about their normal businesses as their security and safety is guaranteed. Commissioner, Ministry of Information and Strategy Ahmed Sajo, who briefed the press after the meeting, said
that whatever is happening anywhere else in Nigeria, as far as the breach of peace is concerned, we are not party to it here in Adamawa State. Every Nigerian, Igbo inclusive, living in Adamawa State has been reassured of his safety. You can't come to Adamawa State and build and develop, then bring a riot inside. We are not there. We thank the governor, we thank all the executive, all the security agencies. The peace of Adamawa is with us, and we will continue to sustain it.
In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
And a 12-man committee set up by the northern governors in their last meeting with traditional rulers have met in Kaduna under the chairmanship of Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. Correspondent Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports that the meeting was convened to find a common front by the region on the current issues of restructuring and resource control, among others.
Members of the committee, comprising some emirs and some governors, arrived at the meeting with an agenda on their minds to do with the region's position on the current agitation for restructuring, resource control through federalism, and several burning issues affecting the nation. The committee, chaired by Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, spent hours discussing on how best to sample opinions, views, and comments of people from the region on the issues at hand. The chairman and Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, alongside the Emir of Kano Muhammad Sanusi II, reaffirmed their commitment on the oneness of Nigeria and how best to go about achieving that.
We remain committed to the unity of this country, and we believe that the more united we are, the better for this country, for the black race, for Africa. So we are committed to that, and we are appealing to everyone to please exercise some caution and restraint and embrace peace.
We affirmed our commitment to the unity of this country and to issues of constitutional reform that will benefit the whole of Nigeria.
The committee appealed on fellow Nigerians to put the country at heart while channeling their complaints on how they feel affairs of the country should be conducted. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Away from security matters now, Nigeria and the Republic of Uganda have resolved to chart a pragmatic course towards enhancing existing bilateral relations for the benefit of the two countries and their peoples. This came to light after a high-level talks between President Muhammadu Buhari and the visiting Ugandan leader, President Yoweri Museveni. State House correspondent Adam Musambu has details.
How are you? I'm fine. Very good.
President Yoweri Museveni, who is in Nigeria on the invitation of the National Defense College for experience sharing, was received by President Muhammadu Buhari at the forecourt of the presidential villa. The Ugandan leader is being accompanied on the visit by his wife, who is also the East African nation's Minister of Education, Janet Museveni. President Buhari of Nigeria and his Ugandan counterpart, Yoweri Museveni, later retreated for discussions behind closed doors on issues of common interest for their countries. After the talks, which lasted about 1.5 hours, President Museveni commended the Nigerian leader for the honor done to him, describing their meeting as fruitful.
What is easiest now is sharing institutions like this National Defense College, Some Ugandans have already graduated from there, 6 of them. But we can send more. And we normally send officers to the Senior Command and Staff College in Kaduna, I think. And I was informed that many Nigerians come to Uganda to study in universities. So sharing institutions is easy, because that one involves just movement of human beings. We would like to revive our airline so that we establish an air link, because that one is also easier. But ultimately, we would have to have physical linkages through the railway. That will be done for the future.
Born in 1944, President Yoweri Museveni came to power in January 1986 and credited for restoring stability and economic stability in the landlocked East African country, which endured a military coup, brutal dictatorship, a war that lasted about 5 years, as well as decades of insurgency. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Still on the visiting Ugandan president, ethnic politics at the expense of national unity is the bane for the unity and socio-economic development of some African countries. President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, said this as guest speaker at the inaugural ceremony and lecture for Course 26 of the National Defense College, Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
Colonel Jarvis Raymond from the Burkina Faso Army is among 19 foreigners from 19 countries, with participants at the 2017 Course 26 of the National Defense College. As an international and strategic institution, the college, through platforms like this, seeks to address regional security and developmental challenges confronting nations.
The college undoubtedly ranks among the top military strategic leadership training institutions in the world. This has earned the college the status of African Union and Economic Community of West African States Center of Excellence for Peace Support Operations Training for the region.
To the guest speaker, the president of Uganda, poor political organizations hamper the expected development in Africa, the pioneer of civilization.
Does China have minerals? Do they have oil? How about Japan? Japan has no minerals, has no oil, does not even have agriculture. It is one of the most prosperous countries in the world.
There are various substituting bilateral agreements between Nigeria and Uganda, such as the Economic, Scientific, and Technical Cooperation Agreement, Investment and Promotion and Protection Agreements.
The inaugural ceremony of the National Defense College Course 26 is with the theme Sub-Regional Cooperation and the Stability of Member States, Economic Community of East African States in Perspective. From the National Defense College, Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has hosted her counterpart, the First Lady of Uganda, Janet Museveni, who accompanied her husband, Yoweri Museveni, on a courtesy visit to the State House. Correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
The visit of the First Lady of Uganda, Janet Museveni, who is also the Cabinet Minister of Education and Sport of the Uganda, to the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, is another milestone for moving forward the agenda of women and youth development of both Nigeria and Uganda. Areas of common interest include improvement of education of women and children, youth empowerment, and health. The wife of the president told Mrs. Museveni the successes recorded within the 2 years of president administration in supporting women and children through her platform, The Future Assured.
I'm also deeply involved in raising awareness and mobilizing support for the victims of malnutrition through the Get Involved initiative, which was launched last year. We are able to mobilize support for malnourished children and pregnant women. I'm championing the return of community learning centers to make it easy for women to acquire or continue their education.
She urged the First Lady of Uganda to maintain the spirit of good bilateral working relationship for the benefit of the two countries.
I wanted to take the opportunity to learn from the First Lady of Nigeria about the work she's doing with the women of Nigeria.
The meeting is expected to serve as an entry point for a greater working relationship that will benefit women and children of Nigeria and Uganda. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari will depart Abuja on Sunday for New York to join other world leaders at the 72nd session of the United Nations General Assembly. This is contained in a statement released by the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity. I beg your pardon. This is contained in a statement released by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina. The statement reads that the President will participate in a debate on striving for peace and decent life for all on a sustainable planet. The President is also scheduled to have lunch with President Donald Trump, along with other world leaders. The statement also indicated that President Buhari and members of his delegation will strive to project Nigeria as a strong moral force and responsible member of the international community committed to global peace, security, and development. The Nigerian delegation will as well canvass the support of UN member states for the Buhari administration and will be accompanied by governors of Zamfara, Ebonyi, and Ondo states, as well as key cabinet ministers. President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated a presidential council on the Sustainable Development Goals to provide the needed impetus for SDGs implementation in Nigeria. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports that the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs will serve as the Secretariat of the Council.
The Sustainable Development Goals framework is a global partnership with poverty eradication as its objective. It has a number of time-bound targets and a deadline of 2030. The inauguration of the council is another of the commitment made by President Muhammadu Buhari when he joined other heads of state and government to adopt the 2030 agenda. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, while inaugurating the council on behalf of the president, urged the members to ensure no stone is left unturned in achieving the 2030 deadline.
Success with the implementation of the SDGs will have an impact on our cities and on the quality of the lives of those who live within them. It is therefore clear that the achievement of the goals equals a quantum socioeconomic leap for Nigeria. Failure to achieve the SDGs will have existential implications for our generation and for those yet unborn. We're therefore, in a real sense, a generation at the threshold of history, saddled with the responsibility of bringing about the change that will alter our development trajectory for the benefit of our people.
The council is expected to, among others, provide strong political leadership and oversight function for the implementation of the SDGs in Nigeria, create opportunity for multi-level and multi-stakeholders consensus building, representation, partnership, and feedback, lead resource mobilization efforts for the attainment of the SDGs, and periodically assess, monitor, and review SDGs progress against a predetermined set of indicators.
What we need to do is to scale up. What we need to do is not to walk, but to run and fly. I'm sure by prioritizing, Your Excellency, we'll be able to deliver to our people. What we've done with respect to the social investment program, to me, represents the right foot forward with respect to the attainment of the goals.
I am convinced that working together, we can bring remarkable improvement to the lives of our people, especially at the grassroots, and to fulfill our mandate of leaving no one behind.
Nigeria is said to have made progress in ensuring this policy translates to action by engendering policy coherence, forging partnerships, and by establishing institutional policy and financial mechanisms needed for success. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Another development, the federal government has received commendation for taking effective measures in shaping the economy of the nation and giving Nigerians a ray of hope and survival. The commendation was made when Vice President Yemi Osinbajo received a delegation of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria. The Vice President urged financial institutions to uphold a high level of integrity and forthrightness in the discharge of their duties. Here again is Jide Onifade.
Efforts of the government geared towards returning the economy to the path of growth through its anti-corruption fight, fiscal discipline, a Greek revolution, war against insurgency, and the social investment programs, especially the NPower programs, are considered to be transforming the country for good. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said financial institutions have a crucial role to play in helping the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to fight corruption, as well as in improving the country's economy. The Vice President urged the association, as a financial body, to call out individuals allegedly tied to some levels of financial crimes to step down from their positions so as to curb corruption in the financial sector, stressing that high level of integrity by financial institutions would help improve the lives of citizens. President of the association, Shehu Usman Laden, gave advice to the government on how to sustain current successes.
Government-private partnership in agri-ventures. Secondly, farmers should be given cooperative society where they can be called to make production a large scale for exportation. Apart from that, the government also can try to bring the youth on board by trying to give them loan that is single-digit interest rate. With that, I think people will be able to come in and key in.
The Anam president said the association has put in place mechanism to ensuring discipline among its members. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Federal government warns United Labour Congress not to carry out threat to shut down essential services. This and more when we return. Stay with us.
From 1967 to 1970, Nigeria went through a horrifying civil war. It didn't matter who was wrong or right. Everybody suffered. Those who fought that war say it should never happen again.
So a lot of people will say, but you were leading the first one. Yes, I led the first one. I don't think a second one is necessary. We should have learned from that first one. Otherwise, the dead would have been to no avail, could all have been in vain.
The words of our elders are full of wisdom.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Come, sisters, I got some special discount on data.
No, my name is sister. I go give you cheaper data. Aha, sister. Now we get your bonga data for here.
No, hold on. Oba go, everybody will enter. There's no need to rush.
Now so there's more than enough data for everyone, eh? Pepper them gang.
Now so ya pepper, I've been na Yoruba pepper than the other for the data.
Excuse me, ladies first.
It's free data time with Glow Overload. Get 200 MB free data with Glow Overload. Simply use 100 MB data plus 150 naira on voice calls or 250 naira on voice calls the preceding week to qualify. The largest data network. Glow, Grandmasters of Data. Thursday, September 28th is Free Data Day nationwide. With Glow Overload, get 200 MB free data and make something happen.
Nigeria is a strong emerging world economy with a population of over 170 million people. With the diligent work of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, in line with the federal government's economic diversification agenda, SON has put in place accredited laboratories to ensure that made in Nigeria products meet international standards and ready for export. SON regularly conducts products registration, certifications, factory inspections, monitoring, a metrology laboratory to get accurate measurements, while SONCAP checks the conformity of imported products and the SON Legal Act to prosecute offenders. Don't sell and don't buy substandard products. Before you buy, look well. See something, say something, or call these numbers. SON, improving life through standards.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please.
Yo.
This is not my Indomie. Please, sir, it's not Indomie. Don't call it Indomie.
Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy our delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles. The difference is the taste.
Taste is the difference.
Yes. Difference is in the taste. Nothing tastes like my Indomie.
Indomie noodles. Tasty nutrition, good for you.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
This is to inform all distinguished senators and honorable members of the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that the resumption date of both houses in plenary has been rescheduled from Tuesday, 19th September to Tuesday, 26th September 2017. All distinguished senators and honorable members are by this notice requested to resume sitting in plenary on Tuesday, 26th September 2017 by 10 a.m. prompt. Please. M.A. Sani Omolori, Clerk to the National Assembly. Announcer.
National Assembly committees on power, donor agencies, generation, distribution and transmission companies as well as other stakeholders in the power sector are invited to the 3rd National Council meeting on power coming up on Monday 18th and 22nd September 2017 at Crest Hotel, Old Airport Road, Jos, Plateau State at 9 a.m. daily. Chief host Simon Lalong, Governor, Plateau State, while the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola would chair the executive session. Announcer, Permanent Secretary, Power, Federal Minister of Power, Works and Housing.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant. To achieve our creed as we promise, we shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
Thank you for staying with us on NTA Network News. The federal government has warned the United Labour Congress, ULC, not to carry out their threat to shut down essential services as they are not yet a federation of trade union recognized by law. Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, gave the warning in reaction to the planned shutdown of some government institutions by ULC, which he says is not qualified to speak for any trade union, as the United Labour Congress is yet to fulfill the condition for registration.
For persons to take the law into their hands by brazenly threatening to commit economic sabotage by shutting down essential services in the oil and gas, power, energy, and aviation sector, as threatened by the promoters of ULC.
The Nigerian Labour Congress and its trade union counterpart recognized by law have urged workers in the affected unions to go about their duties peacefully.
Doubt the officials of the Federal Ministry of Labour will deal with the situation, as the law of the country governing labor relations are very clear on procedure guiding registration of trade unions and trade centers.
The main promoters of the so-called new federation are individuals from Nwe and Nupeng. Both are affiliates of the NLC. By the extant law, as passed just a few years ago, they cannot form another federation.
Both NLC and TUC advised ULC not to cause disaffection in the country. We have more reports on Network News with Ademola in Lagos. It's over to you, Ademola.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has attributed the current improved road construction and rehabilitation efforts to the increased budgetary allocation witnessed since the inception of the present administration. He said for Nigeria to overcome its infrastructural challenge, innovative solutions must be applied. The minister was speaking at a road construction summit organized in Lagos. Jane Ojuku has the report.
Infrastructure, no doubt, has a correlation to socio-economic development of any given society, as education, health, and life expectancy are hinged on the level of infrastructure in place. With the dwindling economic resources being experienced by the federal government, however, the minister says innovative approach should be explored to achieve a more robust infrastructural development in a sustainable manner.
Innovation is afoot, especially by the private sector. This is the time for government to raise its game, to initiate policies and programs that will enable those efforts in innovation and research translate into delivery that affects us in a positive way.
Panelists drawn from construction and financial subsectors, as well as the legislature, took turns to x-ray the level of infrastructural deficits in the country and the possible way out.
The basic challenge with regard to road construction in Nigeria is funding. When you have a commitment of 2.6 trillion, and then you have a budget of about 246 billion, and you have a standing liability of 300 billion. There is no magic that will salvage you except you do the proper funding.
Some of the roads has been will be constructed using the cement, concrete cement, and I'm sure this will reduce costs.
The summit, titled The Economics of Innovative Solutions to Road Construction in Nigeria, attracted participants from relevant sectors at both national and state levels, as well as investors. In Lagos, Jane Ojuku, NTA News.
Following the call-off of the strike by the National Association of Resident Doctors, members are back to work in various hospitals in Lagos State. Mohammed Abdulkadri reports.
The atmosphere at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital was lively, heralding the back to bids by the resident doctors after 10 days of industrial action. It was evident that clinical and non-clinical areas of responsibility of members of the National Association of Resident Doctors have bounced back. A development described as impressive by the Chairman Medical Advisory Committee, Dr. Olufemi Fasamade.
There are much more residents that are working. Most of them have returned to their duty posts. Prior to them calling off the strike, just a scattered number, very small number, augmented by house officers and consultants who are working.
Respondent described the suspension.
I'm happy, because it will not be good for patients to be suffering. So we thank God for that. Resolving their issues on time and restoring at least
regular care delivery to our hospitals. Respondents described the suspension of the strike by the resident doctors as a welcome development. At the Federal Medical Center, Neuropsychiatric and Orthopedic Hospital, Lagos, where NTA News crew was restricted from filming, revealed that the call-off of strike by the resident doctors is being complied with. Now that the resident doctors have put the strike behind them and moving on, observers say they expect to see renewed commitment to duty to guarantee better service delivery to save lives. In Lagos, Muhammad Abdelkader, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Stay with us.
Come, my sisters. I got some special discount on data.
No, my name is sister. I go give you cheaper data. Aha, sister. Now me get your bonga data for here.
Hold on. Obago, everybody will enter. There's no need to rush.
Now, so there's more than enough data for everyone, eh? Pepper them gang. Now, so you have Pepper been Yoruba Pepper than the other for the data.
Excuse me, ladies first.
It's free data time with Glow Overload. Get 200 MB free data with Glow Overload. Simply use 100 MB data plus 150 naira on voice calls or 250 naira on voice calls the preceding week to qualify. The largest data network. Glow, Grandmasters of Data. Thursday, September 28th is Free Data Day nationwide. With Glow Overload, get 200 MB free data and make something happen.
Where innovation begins. The Brain, LG Inverter Technology. Better performance. More energy savings. Now in the entire lineup at LG.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the daring and invincible Louis the Mosquito. Responsible for 200 malaria cases all on its own. Is there anything that can kill Louis? Morphine! Presenting Mortine Power Guard. Its powerful formula kills malaria mosquitoes fast. So, get Mortine Power Guard.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. New Nurofen Express works at the source of pain. Fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust.
Caring for the patients of typhoid and diarrhea is our responsibility. And these illnesses are often spread due to eating with unclean hands. So I recommend Dettol, as it protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. That's why I want to be Dettol sure. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Dettol soap is now also available for 100 naira only.
Bayes University Abuja offers world-class education, uninterrupted academic session, and promising degrees. Bayes University Abuja is affordable and delivers quality with experienced international staff, superb facilities, overseas external examiners, and a serene academic atmosphere. We offer quality and affordable education, and students are within easy reach of their parents here at Bayes University Abuja. So learn to live at Bayes University for a brighter future. For more information, visit our website at www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng or call 081 3376 9657 or 081 3376 9658. Bayes University Abuja. Learn to live.
The National Council for Arts and Culture, Nigeria, presents the closing ceremony for the African Arts and Crafts Expo 2017. The event comes to a close with lots of cultural awards and presentation of prizes. Date, Sunday, 17th September 2017. Venue, Arts and Crafts Village, beside Sheraton Hotels and Yerodo Center, Abuja. Time, 4 p.m. Special guest of honor, Executive Governor of Kogi State, His Excellency Yahaya Bello, Chairman of the occasion, Mrs. Winifred Oyo-Ita, Head of Service of the Federation, Royal Father of the Day, the owner of Abaji, Alhaji Adamu Yunusa, Mother of the Day, Abike Dabiri Erewa, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Diaspora, Chief Host, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Otumba Olusegun Rosewe, Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Host and Announcer.
The Consumer Price Index, which measures inflation, declines by 0.04% in the month of August to 16.01% from 16.05% in July. Figures from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that food price index, however, increased by 20.25% year-on-year, but down marginally by 0.03% from the rate recorded in July at 20.28%. And joining us in the studio to take a look at the August inflation report by the NBS is Dr. Uche Uwaleke, Associate Professor of Finance, Nasarawa State University. You're welcome to our studio.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth.
Now, the inflation declined by 0.04%. What do you make of this latest report?
Okay, you notice it's the sixth consecutive time that the headline inflation, that's the consumer price index, which measures inflation, is dropping. The first time was in February when it dropped from 18.72 in January to 17.78 in February. And since then, we've noticed this gradual decline in headline inflation. But of course, all along, the food index has been, on the rise, except for the month of August. When we've been told that the food index actually declined, although marginally, from a height of 20.28% in July to 20.25% in August. And, you could attribute that to the harvest season, which of course played a part. Another factor I see there too happens to be the interventions of the CBN in the foreign exchange markets, which brought about, relative stability in exchange rate. So the pass-through effect of that relative stability in exchange rate on food prices is what we have also seen, affecting, moderating food prices. But of course, the core index, unlike the previous month, also increased. The core index, that is the one they call all items less farm produce now, the volatile farm produce, actually increased from 12.2% in July to 12.3% in August. And the factors that actually drove that core index, happened to be clothing, shoes, books and stationery. And of course, that the month of August was the month that, people made purchases for, in preparation for school. So we had elevated demand pressure in the month of August on account of a resumption of, in school. So I see the headline inflation, trending further down and possibly meeting the target we have for this year in the 2017 budget, which is 15.74%. percent. But for that to happen, you know, fiscal policies, you know, must come in.
Okay, I think we have to leave it there. We thank you for coming, Dr. Uche Uwaleke. Thank you for coming on Network News.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Now, Online Integrated Solutions, OIS, Nigeria's partner in the application process and issuance of Nigeria's visa in the United Kingdom and 20 other countries, has launched a new system of biometrics in the issuance of Nigeria's visa to meet up with the current security trends in the world. Bilkisu Abdulrazak Oduoye witnessed the launching in London and brings details.
Biometric visa involves the capturing of applicants' fingerprints and photographs. General Manager, Online Integrated Solutions, OIS, commending the federal government for being one of the first African countries to achieve this feat, says it will stop identity theft and forgery while eliminating problems of error.
It is matched against the database to be able to make sure that the unwanted people do not get into the borders of Nigeria, even from this point of the foreign missions. So in terms of security, yes, it secures us. In terms of international standards, we are now meeting the international standard in terms of issuing biometric visa.
Partners on the project, L3 Scarlet Park, says the new visa will further assist in securing Nigeria and travelers entering the country, as it will establish that they are who they claim to be.
Is to add an extra layer of security. So anybody now travelling into Nigeria will be able to check their credentials. So you'll know exactly who they say they are by capturing their fingerprints and their photograph.
Representative of the Ministry of Interior, Deputy Comptroller General Ogegbuna Floretta Anene, who witnessed the launch alongside visa and residency officers from other missions and Abuja headquarters, says the biometric visa and its 48 hours issuance policy is in line with the recent federal government's directive on ease of doing business in Nigeria.
It's to bring and attract investors to Nigeria, knowing that they are secured. And for Nigerians, we have keyed in to international ways of curbing terrorism.
OIS partners with the federal government in the application and processing of Nigerians' visa in about 21 countries of the world and expects to flag off the biometric visa within the next 18 months in the other countries. In London, Bilkisu Abdulrazak Oduoye, NTA News.
Now, our last break beckons. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Make a friend, stick together till the end. Share a mentor, socialize. Share Mentos and be nice.
Mentos candy, crunchy outside, chewy inside.
Have some fun. Who says no to Mentos?
Now introducing the new Mentos Extra Strong Mint.
Winning in hot and dry conditions is hard. Causes the body to sweat, which attracts germs that are easily passed from one person to another.
What keeps you so cool, man?
Dettol Cool combines Dettol's protection and an invincible icy feel. For super cool confidence, use Dettol Cool.
Helen! You do great value shopping.
Absolutely. I'm a champion at getting value.
Then you must have bought the Harpic 200 ml.
Why Harpic when I have this?
Even after applying them 10 times, they won't give a sparkling clean toilet.
Impossible.
Challenge. Detergent and bleach can't give a sparkling clean toilet even after 10 times. But Harpic 200 ml gives a sparkling clean toilet at one go.
Wow.
Harpic 200 ml. Real deal. Now only 200 naira.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
The production and distribution of counterfeit medicine and adulterated food products have negative impact on our health and economy as a whole. I urge all Nigerians to support NAFDAC in safeguarding our health. God bless Nigeria.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
I was distressed to notice that some of the comments, especially in the social media, have crossed our national red lines by daring to question our collective existence as a nation. This is a step too far.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Ayodeji Makinde brings us sports update.
Alaba Akintola from Ondo State completed his sprint double as he won the 200 meters in 21.58 seconds in the male category Friday at the ongoing National Youth Games.